Hi everyone, welcome to week 1 of online learning. Here we go. Hopefully you found our first online learning module. If not, just go back to our original course. I would recommend, rather than scrolling down all these modules, that you just go to Pages and you'll see our learning guide come up. It's right there, week number 1, and it'll take you to kind of a new and improved format, okay? So give you kind of an introduction. I'll have my weekly welcome video right here, and then we'll go from there. Our community hub has some of the similar things that we've been working on in the past, like our community agreement. So open that up on the Google Doc and you can add to it as we move forward. Also, take some time to add prayer requests and praises. So we need each other in this, and especially we need to remember each other in prayer. So I just ask you to take some time each day to look at that, to add your own requests, pray for each other, so forth. So that's part of my assignment to you guys, okay? I probably don't need to assign it. You already do that, I'm sure, but let's just kind of keep each other in the forefront of our hearts and minds, okay? And also, speaking of that, what's on your mind is a discussion board that I've set up on Canvas just for general questions. You know, I see that as our time together where we're just talking randomly. So let's continue to build community, even though we're doing this in an online format. Community is really important. So let's continue to make that a focus of our course. As you can see, our deep hope is that we interdependently establish a collaborative community. So let's continue to strive to do that, okay? Moving forward, you'll see the essential question is still the same. I should mention too, I have a modified online course outline linked here. You can take a look at that, how we're proceeding as we move forward. I've chunked out the rest of the semester a little bit differently. So use this course outline as opposed to the one that's currently on your syllabus. Due dates will change a bit and so forth. So this is probably the only part of the syllabus that is kind of going away, right? So use this course outline from here on out. The next section of the learning guide is the actual, list and sequence of the learning activities themselves. You'll see a reading each week or two. I will always have a file linked, so if you didn't bring your book home or whatever, you don't have your Van Dyke book, don't worry about it. I will make sure I scan those and put them on Canvas. I'd like you to, if you haven't already, read the book or the chapters from the Tomlinson reading. They're linked here. It was assigned prior to break, but in case you didn't read it or you just need to refresh your memory, just take some time at the beginning of this week to do that. There are also some videos I'd like you to watch on the teaching channel, and by the way, this is a fantastic resource if you're looking for information on any topic regarding education. You can search for different topics and come up with different videos. You can see there's like 146 videos on differentiation here. I would encourage you to look at least one, several if you have the time for that, and you can see they are tailored for a variety of grade levels, so it doesn't matter if you're elementary or middle school or high school, there's going to be something here for you. So take some time to explore at least one. You can see on the discussion board, you're going to interact with that information that you see on the teacher channel. I'm going to have you make connections between what you saw in practice on that video and the philosophy of education. Like, what evidence did you see of any of these tenets as you watched that video? So post your ideas by this Wednesday and then respond to some of your group members' posts before Friday. At least 2 of your class members, your discussion group members. You can see I put you in groups. So you're going to be working with about 5 other people, and you'll be responding to each other. So jump on early, put your post, respond to each other, make that a good conversation. Okay? I have also uploaded my slides. We started this before spring break, so we've worked through at least half of this slide presentation. And honestly, I've been a bit self-critical in the past because I feel like I put way too many words on slides, which I probably do for a face-to-face class. But I think this is going to work fairly well for online learning because most of the information is right there, right? We went through these things, the multiple intelligences, the learning styles. Take note, if you weren't in class when we talked about this, this slide is a joke, right? It's just kind of a silly little slide of to point out the fact that there's a lot of different ways to look at learning styles. There's no one tried and true, like this is what research says about all students. Like the danger of both of these ideas is that we would like pigeonhole students and label them. Kind of what I want you to take away from this is that everybody learns differently. Everybody is smart in their own way. And as teachers, we need to make sure we're teaching in a variety of ways, using a variety of strategies and a variety of assessments so that every student can show what they know. Okay, so just kind of take note that this slide is just a joke. Okay. If you are wondering what the difference between equality and equity is, please let me know. Otherwise, we did talk about that in class prior to break, and I think we got as far as the animal school video. I think I ended one section with watching this and the other section didn't get a chance, so if you want to refresh your memory, feel free to watch that video. This is where we're picking up at this point, and there is a graphic organizer in your learning guide that you may use or write these thoughts down in your notes. There's a definition of differentiated instruction right there. The general principles that were outlined in your Tomlinson reading. These are the slide that I really want you to come away with remembering, right? That there are 4 different ways to differentiate. It's not just a singular process. This is multidimensional. You can differentiate in many different ways, thinking about how you change up the content that you're teaching, the process that you're leading students through to master that content, the assessment product that they hand in or they demonstrate. And this one pertains specifically to our course. How can we change up and modify the environment so that every student finds this place within the classroom community environment that they can learn best? So we're talking about the climate, and that is specific to our course. So really take note of those 4 different ways to differentiate, and these are reasons why we would differentiate. Every student is different according to their readiness, their interests, their learning profiles, and there's probably other variances too. This is just a breakdown of those 4 different ways to differentiate with a more descriptive definition here and then some ideas for differentiating in these different ways. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 different ways to differentiate. Additional strategies and recommendations are given at the end. All right. One of the ways to differentiate according to content that you'll notice is here in Newsela. And if you go back to your learning guide, it's linked. I'd like you to just take some time and mess around with Newsela. I find this to be a fascinating tech tool that I think can be really useful for you. It's very relevant. As you can see, Newsela posts all kinds of current events, articles from actual newspapers like Forbes, for instance, right? And then they change up the text to fit the needs of students at different levels of literacy. So here you'll find a drop-down list of the different lexile levels that you can translate this article into. So if you look at the wording here at this high lexile level, and say you have a struggling reader in your class, but you want them to receive the same sort of content, you can change the lexile and it will make the vocabulary and the sentence structure more basic so that all students can learn. All right, so this is an example of differentiating according to the content. All right, So I think we've covered those different aspects of the learning guide. This is kind of like your weekly checklist to work through. If you have any questions on that, please let me know. You can see here, some of you have asked me about your Observation 2 report. Go ahead and hand it in by the end of the week. Some of you already have, but I'll extend that due date a little bit given all the craziness. Some of you have mentioned that you never got a chance, right? You're going to do it over spring break, and then school's closed and things were crazy before spring break. So I'm working on an alternative option for you guys, and I'll be in touch shortly. It'll probably be a video recording of one of our student teachers who recorded himself or herself in the past few weeks as they were doing their placement. So just hang in there. I'll get back to you on that. I want to stay connected as much as we can, and I want to just emphasize that I am available whenever you need me. Well, I shouldn't say whenever, but I really do have a lot of flexibility now. I'll be, working away, but yeah, being inside and not going too many places or having too many meetings and other responsibilities at this point. I just want to make sure you know that I'm available. You can book me. Go ahead and click this button and it will take you through an application that you'll get to choose a time that is convenient for you, that you would like to Zoom with me. So fill out the little form that will pop up after you click this button, and then that will show up on my Outlook calendar, and I will be on Zoom. You can see here's a Zoom meeting link that we can connect. So even if you're going to book me for 48 hours from now, I will make sure I will be on Zoom at that time. You can click this link and we'll be looking at each other and we can talk face to face. So let's try to use that option. Even if you don't have any questions, would you please, in the next 3 weeks between now and April 13, just make at least one appointment so I can check in with you, so I can know how you're doing, and we can just see how things are going. So let's use that option to stay in contact as well. All right, so hopefully that's clear and we can move forward. And yeah, if there are any questions, make sure you let me know. I am going to transition and begin to use the Canvas inbox more than Outlook. You can still contact me at my Outlook address, at my dort.edu address, but also be looking in Canvas for information from me, right? And if you would like to be notified in both your Canvas inbox and in your Outlook, if you use dort.edu more than Canvas inbox, you can change your notifications or make sure that your Dort address is also listed in your notifications. You can see that. Monkey around with this and see if you can make sure your email address, your dort.edu email address, is listed and that you want to receive notifications there as well. All right? So hopefully we're good to go, and we'll get this rolling and we'll tweak as we go along. And yeah, I look forward to learning with you in the weeks to come, and just know that I'm praying for you and just miss you a ton. So God bless. We'll talk soon.